Exodus. Chapter 22. Laws about restitution. If someone steals an ox or a sheep and slaughters it or sells it, they must pay 5 oxen for the ox and 4 sheep for the sheep. If the thief is caught breaking in and is struck so that they die, the person who struck them is not guilty of their death. But if it happens after sunrise, the one responsible for the death shall be guilty of murder. The thief must make full restitution. If they have nothing, they shall be sold to pay for their theft. If what was stolen is found alive in their possession, whether ox, donkey, or sheep, they must pay double. If someone lets their animal graze in a field or vineyard and it wanders into someone else's field, they must make restitution from the best of their own field or vineyard. If a fire breaks out and spreads to thorn bushes and burns stacked grain, standing grain, or the entire field, the one who started the fire must make restitution for what was burned. If someone gives their neighbor silver or goods to keep and they are stolen from the neighbor's house, the thief, if caught, must pay double. If the thief is not found, the owner of the house must appear before the judges to determine whether they have laid hands on the other person's property. In all cases of illegal possession of an ox, a donkey, a sheep, a garment, or any lost property about which someone says, "This is mine," both parties are to bring their cases before the judges. The one whom the judges declare guilty must pay double to the other. If anyone gives a neighbor a donkey, an ox, a sheep, or any other animal to keep and it dies or is injured or is taken away while no one is looking, the matter is to be settled by the taking of an oath before the Lord that the neighbor did not lay hands on the other person's property. The owner is to accept this, and no restitution is required. But if the animal was stolen from the neighbor, restitution must be made to the owner. If it was torn to pieces by a wild animal, the neighbor shall bring in the remains as evidence and shall not be required to pay for the torn animal. If anyone borrows an animal from their neighbor and it is injured or dies while the owner is not present, they must make restitution. But if the owner is with the animal, the borrower will not have to pay. If the animal was hired, the money paid for the hire covers the loss. Humanitarian laws. If a man seduces a virgin who is not pledged to be married and sleeps with her, he must pay the bride price, and she shall be his wife. If her father absolutely refuses to give her to him, he must still pay the bride price for virgins. Do not allow a sorceress to live. Anyone who has sexual relations with an animal must be put to death. Whoever sacrifices to any god other than the Lord must be destroyed. Do not mistreat or oppress a foreigner, for you were foreigners in Egypt. Do not take advantage of a widow or an orphan. If you do, and they cry out to me, I will surely hear their cry. My anger will be aroused, and I will kill you with the sword. Your wives will become widows and your children fatherless. If you lend money to one of my people among you who is needy, do not treat it as a business deal. Charge no interest. If you take your neighbor's cloak as a pledge, return it by sunset because that cloak is the only covering your neighbor has. What else can they sleep in? When they cry out to me, I will hear, for I am compassionate. Do not blaspheme God or curse the ruler of your people. Do not hold back offerings from your granaries or your vats. You must give me the firstborn of your sons. Do the same with your cattle and your sheep. Let them stay with their mothers for 7 days, but give them to me on the 8th day. You are to be my holy people. So do not eat the meat of an animal torn by wild beasts. Throw it to the dogs. Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Give it a like, comment your thoughts, and share this video with your friends and family.